I'm at the National Down Syndrome Convention in Orlando, Florida, and I just saw a family with 5 children, and their youngest child had Down syndrome, and they were getting on the elevator, the young kind of teenagers-ish, and their parents, and then their youngest brother with Down syndrome, and it gave me this flashback to us, because that was us. David was our youngest of the 5, and I thought about the innocence that they have right now, and you know, those parents and the siblings. And I just want to share, and I don't even know, I probably won't even keep this as alive, so if you happen to catch it, you know, then good for you. If not, then I probably won't save it. But I thought about all the things that I've learned since our kids were that age. I didn't know that when my kids would leave for college one by one, that they would miss me and Chuck, and they would miss their siblings, but they would miss David most of all. David would be the one that they missed most of all. And I don't know if it's because they felt this need, this like worry, or because David's always so happy when everyone's near, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that my kids would miss David most of all. I didn't know when my kids were that age, at the family that I saw getting on the elevator, that when they would each grow up and get married and move away, that David would mourn each one's departure. Of course, parents kind of feel that sort of happy sad when the kids leave, but David really mourned them. It started with our daughter Maria, and it's continued as each child has moved away and gotten married. I didn't know when my kids were that age, when they were, that as my son David would watch all of his siblings have children, that he would want children. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, I did know this, that when you call your kids, you know, when they're away at college or even as they're adults, sometimes they don't pick up, but they always pick up on David's call. I look at that family and I think, oh my gosh, enjoy these years, because it's one thing when parents feel an empty nest. It's, you know, it's normal, it's part of life, but to have an empty nest being felt through David is different. Occasionally he'll call me in his room at night, and I must know what he's going to say. And I'll be like, Mom, I have to talk to you. And I'll walk in his room and he'll say, do you remember, Mom, when everybody lived here? And I say, yeah, buddy, I remember. Those were good days, weren't they? You know, I try to endorse him, and he does get to spend the nights with his siblings, and he loves those. So, of course, I try to remind him, you know, now you don't have one house, David. You have 5 houses. You can sleep at Charlie and Camille's, you know, or Maria and Jeff, or Tommy and Olivia, or Bobby and Tori. You get all these people. You have a lot of houses. You have a huge family. And so that family doesn't know that that's yet to come. And I'm just sharing this because this is the side of Down syndrome that you don't see. You know, I don't try to make it look all good and wonderful, because it is. But this is the side you don't see. But it's real. I wish David could find a sweet little girlfriend, you know. He would love to have someone to love. And he'd be a great little boyfriend. He would. He is so gentle, and he is a caretaker. Everybody has their strengths, but David is a caretaker. He takes care of people. I didn't know at that age that the little things that happen in there, you know, when my kids were that age, I didn't know that the little things, the little times that my adult children lean into David, how much he appreciated it. A handful of years ago, my oldest son, Charlie, used to call David at night, and they would say their prayers together. And David loved that. He waited for that connection. And he's asked me, you know, why doesn't Charlie call to say prayers anymore? And I said, because Charlie's saying prayers with his children now, Dave. And he goes, oh, okay. I didn't know that because David doesn't see his siblings a whole lot anymore, that when he does see them, there's this, like, I'm going to say euphoria, but that's not the right word. There's just this like immense explosion of joy when he sees them, you know, when Bobby or Tommy walks in the house, you know, he's just like, Tommy, Bobby. The other day, Maria, Jeff, and
kids came over and played in the pool, and David was beside himself. He was so, I don't even have the right adjectives. His heart was so full. It was abundantly full because he misses them. And this is the side of Down syndrome that you just don't see. And I'm navigating it the best I can. And it's hard not to cry myself, but just seeing that family today and just seeing their innocence and how proud they were of their little brother. And that was us. You know, we used to take trips with Dave, and the kids all watched him grow and were a part of his life. And let's see, my oldest moved away. Dave was born in 2000. Wow, Charlie moved away, gosh, when David was 5 or 6 to college, his freshman year. So I guess we did have a lot of years when the kids had already started leaving the nest for college. Of course, they come home for summers and that kind of stuff. But anyways, learned a lot this weekend. This weekend was more for David, I think, because now I see him recognizing people. You know, he has little friends that he made, and he'll say hi to people across the room. And last night at the dance, when we were leaving, we met this cute little girl. Her name's Gracie, and she's got like 71,000 followers. She's from California. And her mom and I exchanged phone numbers, and this is her second convention. And they traveled here from California. I mean, I'm lucky because it was an hour down the road, you know, a half hour. And I said, "Are you going to go to the convention next year in Arizona?" She was like, "Yeah." And I thought, you know what? I think we'll go too. Because it's something for David to do. It's something for him to sort of sink his teeth into. And he's gone to his little breakout sessions and learned a lot. So there's nothing worse than a long live video. But I just thought I would bring you into some of the side of the syndrome that you don't see. But it's okay. I'm figuring it out. It's okay. It's all good. All of it. It's all good. This is all part of life. And we're going to be okay. Thank you.